Welcome, Conquerors. This is No Flips, Just Mike's Conquest Wrestling podcast, in which we all just come together, hopefully, keep you up to date with all the latest news and maybe entertain you along the way with our shenanigans. I'm one of your hosts, Rhys Baldwin, alongside Eric Hart.
Howdy doody.
Not Hat, Hart.
H-A-R-T.
Eric the Hitman Hart.
Like
And
the Hart family.
yeah, that seems legit. Joining us is our guests for this week's show, Nathan Watkins. Give them a wave.
Oh,
And Joshua Powell.
Hello.
oh, the Cena taunt.
Right, so topic one of today is all about Jinder Mahal and how they basically pulled the trigger and made him champion. I believe it's the first ever Indian WWE champion. He's Indo-Canadian, but still, that's what they said on SmackDown just gone, as he had his old big Punjabi
Wait.
celebration.
Wasn't the Great Khali WWE champion?
World champion, not WWE champion.
Ah.
Yes. So, yeah, it was originally put down as world champion, but then Khali, so WWE champion. How on earth did he go from WrestleMania, being in the pre-show, losing to Mojo Rawley, and being mugged off by a celebrity, to winning the WWE Championship? How does that happen?
I think it's all to do with Vince likes bigger guys. That's what I'm going to say.
I mean, yeah, he did put effort into his shape, didn't he?
Yeah,
looking nice and ripped up and like.
He's looking jacked now.
He's looking good. At the end of the day, like SmackDown's all about making opportunities for people, and also they've got that whole move they're doing in India right now, business-wise.
Yeah.
So it's a business move.
That's why.
Which is I think the main bulk of it, but it's also
Gets
good,
rid of
and it's
Mike
good for them as well because we can help build more in their Indian fan base and really get them on board as well. But I don't know. It's quite interesting that they managed to do this. Like obviously that the title's changed hands on every pay-per-view so far this year. Yes, it has.
Yeah, Rumble went to Styles.
Chamber went to Wyatt. Mania
Yeah.
went to Orton, and then this one Orton went thing. I mean, obviously they didn't have a WWE title match at Payback, but they were originally.
It was a Raw show anyway, but every SmackDown and Interbrand one.
And to be fair to them, they pulled it off well. I thought the match was actually quite good. Like it wasn't fantastic, but it was well worked, and it got the reactions it needed from the crowd.
Yeah. It was your average Orton match. Like he
did came out
great matches, and then he does his average sort of.
I think he did a bit more
shtick.
though, because he had a bit more energy to him. Like in the opening, he comes straight forward into the thing, which I thought.
Or when he
Great move.
flips one of the Singh brothers onto an announce table.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Oh yeah, that was insane.
Flips the one Singh brother on, and literally as he turns around, his face is just like, yeah, I just did that. Oh well.
Yeah, he tries to cover it up by holding his arms like.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm in pain. No, that was just really awesome.
I will say there's the RKO out of nowhere. I thought was a great
Yeah.
bit because it was surprising and it really led into the end section really nicely.
Yeah. It was
a well worked match.
It was well worked. It wasn't like
it was well worked.
a spectacular match, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. I got the reactions it needed, and
there's a lot of good spots, and the ending where
you got
everyone's
the heat for it.
It's
So.
just like the Undertaker reaction. Everyone's just like, wait, is this real life? What just happened? And then everyone's just like,
Dave.
dive.
No dives in. Well,
Randy.
murders, but no
This is
dives.
my
Randy
yard
could
now.
take a dive. He could do a dive, but he does choose not to because he doesn't like dives, of course. But yeah, you're on the outside looking in, kind of, with the Jinder Mahal situation. What do you think?
It's amazing.
I called it. I predicted Mahal would
I'll give him
win.
that one.
I knew they'd do it, but it was that case of why?
But now they just
Like,
need to
really.
Make it
But-
a bit lengthy, not have him lose next
Well,
bit.
Money in the Bank is in St. Louis,
St.
Missouri.
Louis, Missouri, which is the.
Orton's hometown, but
Imagine the heat he'd get for winning
Yeah,
against
exactly.
Orton. Like, that's perfect in some ways.
I'm imagining another Mahal victory in Orton's hometown. They'd like to do that. Hometown person loses the match. I mean, was it in San Jose Bailey lost the title to Bliss? So
And that's the main thing. He's getting the heel heat, which is what he needs.
oh
You may
yeah,
not
people
like-
hate him.
He may not be like, I know a lot of people just don't like him anyway as a wrestler. Like, I'm not a big fan of his. He's pretty average at best. Essentially, but he's working for him, and you know that's all you can ask for, as long as he's getting a reaction. And if he wasn't, then it would be like.
It's kind of like Cena and sometimes Orton. They know he sticks to his stuff, and because what he does well. He doesn't have that whole variety with the new generation has. So you're talking about the UK people coming in, they bring in a fresh style. Just anyone from the indie scene is coming in and they just bring in this whole fresh style. He seems very more grounded.
He's much more that general WWE style.
Yeah,
that
from
is,
a couple of years ago.
Kind of,
it's nice to see, because everyone now is doing flips and planches and dives and super kicks.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm happy with it.
Imagine a show with Ziggler, Luke Harper, Rollins, or everyone who does a super kick on and having a drinking game. How many super kicks will be in one show? Owens, Styles, you will get hammered.
47.
And it's crazy because super kick is
Oh, you'd be sober. 'cause
super
you've
kick
gone
is
through it.
devastating. So if like anyone hits anyone with a super kick, like a proper
They
super
The
kick,
best kick
you were
to the
done.
face is Aleister Black's.
yeah,
Oh, definitely.
That
It is by
most
far
definitely.
the best
It's
blow
fantastic.
to the face ever.
Well,
but,
A devastating kick, to be
but
fair.
yeah, fair enough.
He's, I get what you mean.
I could think of another one.
I think
but
it's just following on from Japan, because in Japan, super kicks have just been called thrust kicks, and they just use them in a general sense.
yes,
So
it's
it's
not
the
the
same
super
kind
kick.
of thing, really.
It's an average kick.
Just call them a thrust kick from now on. I think that's why everyone needs to just. If
I
it's-
always thought
Yeah.
the only way anything becomes super is when you do it off a turnbuckle.
yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
waiting to
yeah.
see a super kick.
A
I'm
super
just saying.
super kick.
Remember, like when Psycho Sid dived off and broke his leg?
Ugh.
That was a super break.
Oh my god. Oh, disgusting. Disgusting.
Jinder Mahal, we're hoping he does well with it.
I think
or
it-
at least till
He's
SummerSlam.
got good momentum, and I'll see how long it takes. I think they should. I think keep it till SummerSlam. That's a nice little reign he can have.
Yeah,
See how much momentum he can keep going. See how much he can keep up with it, and see where they go from there. Really, like I may not like we may not get anything like stellar wrestling wise,
No.
but story wise, and like in terms of just like reaction. Because when he finally loses it, then big reaction.
yeah, it'll be a pop.
Because
I don't know. I got a funny feeling they're going to go down the route of they're going to have Jinder Mahal be like the Indian version of JBL. So like you got the Bollywood boys as the Basham brothers, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Then they're brothers.
Yeah.
No, we just need.
it's a similar
well,
situation. In fact, it's a very
Well,
similar
no, he
situation.
needs an Orlando Jordan, but of course his Orlando Jordan will have to be white, so it counteracts, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of get, you know, he's kind of showing off this sort of rich heritage, like JBL.
He's had the same shoot up as well, you know. JBL went from tag teaming at Mania.
Yeah,
And then some, because I remember when I first heard about JBL winning the title, I was like, one, who's JBL? Because I hadn't seen it. And two, it's like, is Bradshaw? What? When? What happened?
then what does the J and L
This was
stand
like 2
for?
months into his reign when I heard about it, because I didn't have Sky or anything, so I only heard from friends and stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, JBL won the title. I was like, say what?
I remember that. You what?
I think it's the equivalent of Jinder now. I think a lot of people like who's been out of the loop for like a few years in WWE, they probably come back and say, who's champion?
He beat who? When?
What year is this?
One of the Bollywood boys died. What?
What is this?
But, yeah, it should be a decent run story-wise. The wrestling remains to be seen. See what happens. If we get more Orton suplexing people, I think we're fine. But,
Keep them murdering the Singh brothers every show. You'll be honest.
I think we're going to be surprised
Yeah.
because obviously with the way that the performance center is now with a high standard of training, you never know, might prove us wrong.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with the performance center. Everyone is up their game because they're getting this sort of in-house training and sort of not even just wrestling training, but just cardio and general building themselves up, getting their cardio sorted, is making for better wrestlers. Like this current flock of superstars is the best I've ever seen. It's
No, I agree.
I'm so glad I'm
wrestling
alive
wise.
for this.
WWE have never been better.
It's a generational thing, I think. Because
Well, yeah.
they're signing guys now that are in their early 20s that have already been wrestling for 10 years plus.
It was an interview I watched on, read on WWE.com, that they said Pete Dunne is a young veteran.
Yeah.
Started when he was 12 years old. He's 20 whatever now.
23 now. 20.
Yeah, he's about, it must be 23. And he's been in the business for 11 years and he's 23. Is like, and he's bringing all his training, his knowledge to
I mean, yes, it's how
the
a
UK
lot of things
show.
work with kids. I think it's something Japan has done a lot. Not necessarily with the men, but the Japanese women. A lot of them start off when they're like 15 or like younger, and they have their pro debuts and stuff when they're that young. And you see, and the how top level they are. Usually some of the best in the world are the women in Japan.
Asuka's a perfect example.
I feel like thing. And yeah, Asuka. I don't know. I can't. I'm not sure when she started, but
I don't know how old she is. She looks
She's
20 odd, but I know
late,
she's probably 30.
I think she's
something.
like late 20s, early 30s. I'm not entirely
Really?
certain.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah,
Maybe.
something like that. She
Who
has
knows?
been
I
around.
wouldn't have put it past 30, definitely.
She has been around Japan for a good 10 years or so or more. I'd say.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm happy to see what happens. I'm glad to see his Punjabi celebration. I fully expected, Orton's going to come out wreck house. Didn't happen. It wasn't interrupted
give
at
him
all.
his celebration.
They gave him his
I mean, to be
They
fair,
actually give him just the full.
Yeah.
did you see the reaction video of the Indian commentators from when he won the title?
No.
So someone uploaded what the Indian commentators' reaction was, and they went nuts when Jinder won. And the last thing they were saying was "India number one, India number one."
Nice
And
touch.
it's like, so I think they did that for the Indian audience to really get a nice celebration. That so they can.
Well, I can imagine being sat in India, watching TV. All my Indian homies next to me. We're all watching the show. Jinder Mahal wins. We're going nuts, and yeah, that is a cool moment
It's
for
a nice,
them.
It's a nice
specifically.
thing for them,
I
think
can't say down the line. Get a Japanese champion, it'll be the same for them, a Chinese, whatever. I can see them doing more of this sort of type deal running down the line. Was it with the Irish champions at the moment? There's been Sheamus, Becky Lynch, Finn Balor. He's on his road to being, one of those prominent ones. Drew McIntyre is going after the NXT title currently.
Come on, Slater. Come on,
Slater.
Nah,
Take down the beast incarnate.
It's all about Mandrews for the UK Championship, I think, for us.
Wales could see Mandrews fly up and get the UK title. Who knows? Might be someone further down the line that we might know, but maybe not. Maybe.
Who's to say?
Obviously, we have the Mae Young Women's Classic on the way. We know there's like a few signings that happened months ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're likely to show up at this, so people like Nixon Newell, there's gotta be
Couple of Japanese.
gotta be in there. Some of the Japanese pickups.
Shirai and Kai Hojo.
Yeah,
And
I don't know half the names.
one of them has the best elbow drop in existence, and they've been told to change it. So no, I'm not even lying.
So bold.
No,
I'm not even lying.
I wasn't even aware of this, but then I did see a clip on Facebook.
If
And
you
I was
see,
like, yeah, damn,
it's the most
that's
unique elbow drop
nice
elbow.
you'll ever see, because no one does it with like basically it'll destroy your hips in the long run. But apparently she's been told to change it because of Bailey does an elbow drop. But take that as more of a rumor thing and not
I
necessarily.
shall stand by.
That's fair enough.
Eric Young.
Eric Young's, yeah, he's nailing it at the moment with his moveset is very sort of dominating, and powerful. Even the elbow drop, it looks vicious the way he does it, and then his characters.
No, I've been
awesome.
liking him more. I'm usually not a big Eric Young fan. It's like a
Yeah.
takeover. I liked his. I've been enjoying his matches at takeovers because he had one with Dillinger was good, and then his one with Strong Roddy was good as well.
Yeah.
Strong. Fair play to him. He's really come into that face role, and he can.
Yeah.
Like, he works as that like kind of, that baby face that kind of like gets beaten up and then makes the comeback.
Yeah.
He's got that energy about him. He's got really like
It's the
I really
comeback
like their
story.
match at takeover.
But,
What's happening with, like, because obviously you've mentioned the Mae Young women's classic.
yeah.
So what's happening with, because wasn't there talks about doing a UK women's tournament?
Well, it's going to be a world.
No,
women's
it's
tournament.
just they're just doing the women's
It's-
tournament.
yeah.
So it's just
Think
gonna
of it
be
as
everyone.
column A, column B. It's like, imagine it's the Cruiserweight Classic / the UK Championship.
No, but
But
there
it's
were
all
talks
for
about
women.
doing a UK women's tournament as well.
I
I haven't heard anything about that.
I haven't heard anything about that. I just knew there was going to be a general women's tournament, and this is going
Which
to be.
I think is what
it's going to
what
feature
they'll keep
UK
with.
talent, but
That might be what it is.
And then maybe they'll have some of the UK people on the UK show, weekly show, whenever that ends up.
I think that's the
comes
big
to
push
fruition.
Yeah.
to get a UK branded show.
That's what they want
Yeah.
to go for, and that's what they get with the UK specials and the and all that, and they're really
Yep.
trying to push through for that.
So moving on to the next segment now, which is called High Spots, and it's basically all the highlights throughout the week, because instead of a before venture that we had, we'd run down the entirety of Raw, SmackDown and whatnot, and it went a bit too long. It dragged a little, so just all the highlights from the last week or so, pay-per-view as well, and
It was a big week of
it was
lots of stuff.
it was
going on.
huge. We had Takeover, Backlash,
UK special,
Raw, SmackDown,
Raw,
UK special.
NXT.
It was a fantastic week for wrestling, and just quality wrestling as well. Topic one on high spots for me is Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate stole the show and potentially had match of the year.
It is the WWE match of the year. It's not. It is one of the best matches of this year, but it is in terms of WWE, it's
Yeah.
the best match they've had this year, which is funny because in the UK Championship special they also had probably the best matches
Yeah,
in WWE this year as well. So it's like they brought it to another level essentially. Like
Yeah.
I think it, and especially with the crowd added into it, the atmosphere, it just made something special. Like everyone knew what you're watching.
it's
Special.
just funny because it's now just going to show the world what we've known for years. You know, British wrestling is quality. There are some really top tier main event talent, like people like Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Mark Andrews, even Trent Seven. I can see these people working the main roster in the future.
Oh, definitely.
So like, I
definitely.
can see this UK bit being a branch where, like, for UK wrestler, the UK being NXT of the UK. So people can go there, they can train, and then they could get called up to the main roster once people have hit their stride, people are behind them, they have that sort of thing about them, bring on the main roster, and it skyrockets them. That I can see being the new thing. Is so he's like, for I bet people, veterans nowadays, would wish they had this back then, because it's just so much more streamlined to get into the business. You have tryouts now, sort of genuine. They come to the UK and they host a tryout for however many people, instead of just, well, before, new people were very, they weren't.
I mean,
they weren't
a
that
lot of
often.
their
how-
tryouts would
get
end
How
up being
far are you going
here's a
back
job match.
exactly?
a long time.
Because obviously, Adrian Street from Bromell,
Yeah,
literally one of the top competitors to ever come out of Wales,
yeah,
and now he's basically living the life in America.
but the match, you've watched it.
I have.
Thoughts?
It's amazing. Like, you take everything away from it in terms of just breaking it down. The match was great. The both of them
They-
over. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I squealed at
incredible.
the spiral tap.
oh,
I squealed.
I'll be honest
I
with you. I've been working ridiculous hours, and I made sure that I got up the following morning to watch it, because there was no way I was staying up to watch it live.
Yeah.
and then before a busy day, I managed to quickly watch that match. Thought it was great from start to finish. First title change, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Knowing those two personally anyway, it's great to see
Yeah.
them succeed. And then when you add the crowd into it, the WWE spotlight, the fact that it's their pay-per-view debut,
Yeah.
it just ticks all the boxes. And it just, again, paves the way for what's inevitably going to be a nice bright future for those two involved and the British wrestling scene with working with the WWE.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
We got William Regal to thank for that as well.
Yeah, he's been one of the key people pushing this UK sort of scene coming into the spotlight, along with Triple H. He's been in charge now of that sort of section for, I want to say 2012, maybe just a bit before, when he's probably sort of taken over the role of doing,
Well, it was when they launched NXT
Yeah.
essentially, and they started
toying around with
trying to
everything.
branch out and think of new ways to get. And then obviously
Right, it's his baby, innit?
Yeah.
when they see the UK indie scene start to the British wrestling scene start to skyrocket and become super popular, they're like, oh, there's a market here we can jump on, and they're trying to keep up with what's current essentially,
Yeah.
and and it's a shame that they were the second match, because every other match then the crowd kind of died down a bit, I felt, for a lot of it, apart from the ladder match that they kind
Yeah.
of
Ladder match.
stepped it up.
My
Ladder match was
goodness.
great. The Gargano, right, that's another thing, the Gargano Ciampa turning on Gargano, I didn't know about it. I know a lot of people didn't speculate, and I hadn't looked on Twitter or anything, and I was literally just like doing something else while the ending was happening, and suddenly it happened. I was like, wait, what's going on? And to be their payoff match, right, is going to be spectacular, because those two have a great match at Cruiserweight. Everyone's loved this tag team. They've been such a wonderful, and what makes it even even harder to watch is the fact when in the match Gargano sacrifices himself for Ciampa, taking a ladder to the face. He pushes Ciampa out of the way, takes his massive, this ladder gets straight into his face, and you get that sacrifice. And then at the end, he just and also just doing a kryptonite crunch off the bloody announce table as well. Just proper murdering.
So good.
Gargano. It's a shame though, because I've heard Ciampa injured him. He already had an ankle injury, but he's injured himself again, so he's got to have surgery.
Yeah.
So there might be a bit of a recovery time before we get to see the feud fully enveloped. But that is
going to be a delayed payoff.
That's going to be one of the best feuds this year once they get through it, because it's they're outstanding, and the two together or something. And I think that's the main highlight from Takeover, really.
Yeah. Anything to add for Takeover?
No.
Although I did enjoy Rude Hideo as well. I enjoyed Hideo's.
For me, the entire show was solid. Pete Dunne.
Nothing was bad on it. Everything was good.
Roddy and Eric Young, fantastic opener.
It was a good match.
Not like a fantastic match, but opening wise, it was what you needed. Came out, done this whole sort of underdog story, overcoming 3 people. Next, got match of the night. After that, we had the Women's Championship triple threat. Asuka dominantly going over by pinning both of them at the same time.
I will say that the execution was a bit sketch, I thought.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of her just pinning both of them, just to show you got 2 against me, I'm still winning.
Yeah, definitely. Rude and Atami, I wasn't quite sure how it would run in terms of, because I haven't watched much Atami, I haven't watched much Rude apart from his takeover stuff, but they really delivered on a solid, brutal match. Those strikes, every hit just felt forceful.
I like the limb work as well with the Rude obviously had his arm worked on, and it was him struggling to hit the glorious DDT.
Yeah.
And the ending as well, when he just hits 2 in a row, he hits the one, rolls through, hits the second one, just great little thing. And also to be fair, that you would expect. I'm happy that Chicago crowd were booing CM Punk chants, because they were trying, weren't they, some of them, and they were just booing them out of the building.
Cut straight off.
That's
Especially
one
with the
thing.
GTS.
That's one thing that got me. Literally, this thought came on my newsfeed. It's CM Punk is at Takeover, and I was like, what? I literally lost my shit.
That photo in
For ages, I haven't watched Takeover yet. But I lost my shit just reading this article about CM Punk being at Takeover, and then I read this another one where it was like a side by photo saying it was actually him at
A
UFC show,
yeah.
and it was like, oh, trolling me.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. I was like,
I watched the show live, and I then saw the image, and I was like, I don't remember
That's
that.
right, I was like,
Wait, what? I went back then, I was like, oh, was CM Punk a takeover? Blah, blah. But no, he was not a takeover. It was a doctored photo because he was at UFC, wherever it was.
I want to know if he's coming to the UK.
Five-star wrestling.
They've offered him £1 million.
Offered him $1 million to be
yeah.
120. Well, apparently they've upped the offer now as well.
Really?
Even more to. I don't
What,
know
to
who
wrestle?
runs
Yeah,
that
the
company and
Robert
has all this
Media.
money to just throw away, but.
It's
To
crazy
be,
to
like,
think.
considering they've hardly run any like shows and they just like seem to have money from anywhere. It's like really,
Yeah.
they're running the Motorpoint in June, I think, or July. They're running a bunch of arenas, and one of them's Cardiff Motorpoint Arena. I'm just like,
Yeah.
and it's like £75 for like a front row seat. And what's their biggest star? John Morrison.
Sorry, your face.
No, I love John Morrison, don't get me wrong, but he has not been really
I mean, he's pushing the brand
relevant
like
for years. I love him, but
well, he's made.
he's been in like smaller companies that I like, Lucha.
Well, he did the Lucha Underground and stuff. So he's got a following there, but I don't feel
he
like
has got a following,
this is
but-
going because I know when they did the run last time, they didn't fill out the venues much at all.
No.
And so I feel like it's like I said, I don't know where
Apparently the shows were phenomenal. Apparently they were like really great shows.
the live broadcast on Spike TV was not so good. But
Really?
yeah, everyone kind of felt, a lot of them felt like they were just not trying. Well, like Khalito looked like he didn't want to be there. I'm going to be honest.
That's fair enough.
And like it was just like, you know, you just nearly everyone in there was just a former WWE talent or TNA talent. I think you had one UK guy. I can't remember who was in it. There was
Yeah.
like one just normal British guy, and you know, this is maybe a British company, and they're just using
Yeah, fair
like
enough.
former stars for it. But enough about them.
Yeah.
Moving on now.
So the next high spot moment for me, anyway. I don't know how anyone else feels about Breezango and the Usos, but I'm absolutely loving it. The fashion files are the best thing going at the moment.
I love the Popo. I love him.
The Popo.
I love him.
Fashion Popo.
Even before before they were the fashion police, I was like, this team's gonna be big. Listen, this team's gonna be big. What happened?
Well, I never initially thought that, but they have done exactly what they needed to get over. And like the fashion file segment's great, wonderful way to connect with the audiences.
Yeah.
And then I thought what they did with the tag team match was great because they got the crowd into it. Like the crowd was just like eating up, and you had you know, it was funny. It was, you know, him dressed up as a janitor, and then there's the grandma. Like it's just like it was a fun match. Fair play to them, and they've done what they needed to.
Sadly, the Usos' day one was more H than theirs.
Day one is H.
Day one is H. But yeah, with the Usos in particular, they are really they're hitting their stride at the moment. Their promos are like, they seem very fluid and not as sort of rehearsed, like more kind of like the Rock's promos in a way, where they're just they just keep going and going and going without
high
energy, and I love it. I constantly going back to watch them just because I'm like, how are they doing this? They have this chemistry, and it's like we never seen this before from them. But now they've been
heel was definitely
turning them heel. I think is exactly what needed to happen. To be honest with you.
Yeah, to heel was the best thing. I wasn't sure she would, because I love them as a face anyway, but people were getting complacent with them.
They were getting really repetitive, you know, and they've been, to be fair, I think at the moment they are the longest running tag team WWE have at the moment, because they've been in there since 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
For like 7 years.
Time.
And
really?
yeah. I think someone mentioned that they are actually the longest running team they've had in WWE, at least in like the last 20 years or so, like who
Mm,
haven't like,
yeah, it
who haven't
could be.
split up or anything. They've just stayed together
Yeah.
for that time period. And the reinvention has been exactly what they needed to breathe new life into them, which is one of the best things about this brand split is people, changing themselves and bringing themselves up, which you mentioned last week.
Exactly.
And
Naomi's the
like,
perfect example of
No,
changing
I
herself.
feel the glow. I think it's great.
Great.
I get pumped up with that theme song all the time.
I bet you do.
The
Start raving.
first time you saw that entrance, they don't turn the lights out for many people. You got Finn Balor, The Undertaker, Jericho, Aleister Black, Shinsuke Nakamura. Naomi has the lights go out for her. This whole UV lights color burst of
Feel the glow.
make
Neon.
everyone think they're high. Just wow! It's infectious as well. She just comes out, does the dance.
It does, it makes you just wanna rave.
thinking
It's
you're
just
about to
like
have like a epileptic fit, but it's fine. You got Naomi.
And
It
she's
was-
improved a lot in the ring as well.
I just wish
Yeah.
at Mania she took a bit more of a run. I really wanted to see her go all the way down.
But she did. Oh, imagine if she had wheels on her knee pads, so she
Oh my
ran,
goodness.
slide down all the way down the
You
ramp.
could be on a moneymaker. We've had Heelys before, but we're looking at
Neelies.
Kneelies. I like that.
That's the
That's
next
a, that's a
thing.
finisher right there. Keeps the wheels on, in the face. Instant over. Anything else to say about Breezango and the Usos other than we love them currently?
I don't know, I think it's, it's nice.
I loved the Usos' recent backstage crime scene promo they had going on.
Backstage crime scene.
Yeah, they had. I think it was like the recent UK SmackDown show they did.
Right.
And there was like a crime.
Oh, the fashion police
fashion
one, not the
police one. No,
Usos.
the
Oh,
Usos,
when-
that's wrong, the
When they
fashion
ran
police.
into
Yeah,
the
the
Ash Ascension,
Ascension.
with the face paint.
Face paint.
It's,
Yeah, the segments are spot on. The comedy, which is what we thought they were going to be anyway when they got paired together. Like Breeze is awesome. Fandango, he's good, but pairing them together, we were all like, "Oh, why are you doing it to them?" Now we see why. They can pull it off. They've done a New Day. They've taken something very mediocre / terrible idea, and they've just made it their own. New Day now, the top of the tag team division, apart
That's
from
one thing I
without
hope.
having the titles.
So one thing I hope they do is keep the fashion police around for a long time.
Yeah, I can see them working in so many different ways. Like these fashion files could go on for weeks. And I
I
fashion
haven't seen
fields.
any of it.
No,
I'm
No,
not.
it's
No,
right.
you're
I haven't
missing
seen
out.
any.
you have to.
I'm trying to think what else is a backlash. Oh, you had Nakamura's debut match.
Yep,
Perfectly
Nakamura
acceptable.
versus Ziggler. Yeah, that's my issue with it. It was acceptable.
I honestly
It
didn't think
was-
anything better. I didn't think
it
they were
w-
going to do anything better.
It wasn't a great match. It was all right. For Nakamura's debut, I was expecting more, particularly being against Ziggler.
It was honestly exactly what I was expecting. Like it wasn't like I knew I didn't expect. Like I would have hoped they do something like really good, but at the same time I thought that he's just going to do something a bit more easier and straightforward to just
Yeah.
showcase himself. And like I know a lot of people complain about him, and people on Twitter have given him the moniker "King of Phone It In" style, which is I think he's worked exactly how he's always worked. Like and a lot of people hate his Samoa Joe, his matches against Joe and his matches against Rude.
Yeah, fantastic.
I really liked all his matches against Joe
Yeah.
and Rude. Like and the thing is, I think the thing is that he still sticks with his style, and it may not necessarily meld when it's mixed in with the WWE style of things. You may not necessarily get something like superb from it, because I think
Yeah.
there's a way that he works, and it's kind of like unless he's working with someone like really physical, you can kind of get that.
Or if there's someone
drawback from it.
he's worked
Yeah.
with before, like Joe, for example.
Well, it's like I think, obviously, I think he did fine. I think it's a fine debut. He got him over. Like the crowd still. love
Yeah, oh,
him.
yeah.
And it just depends where he goes from here. Obviously, he's going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
Which I'm really interested to see how he's going to work in that, because I've not seen him in any he's never been in a specialty match from what I'm aware. So this will be his
Right.
first ever ladder match because they don't do them in Japan. I think they had one in Japan last year in New Japan,
Yeah.
and that's between Elgin and Omega. But apart from that, they don't. Apart from like some of the deathmatch wrestling, New Japan are very straightforward. And
Just
just
wrestling
and
matches.
straight up, and he's done MMA and stuff. But it's like this is like never seen him in a ladder match. So
Yeah.
I'm really
And who's
intrigued
in
to
the
see
ladder
him.
match?
So with the Money in the Bank ladder match, it was announced on SmackDown just gone, and it's for me the most hyped ladder match I've seen.
It's a big good one.
AJ Styles, literally, there's a 10. Kevin Owens, there's a 10. Nakamura, there's a 10. Ziggler, for me, is a 10. For some people, they don't care anymore about him. Zayn, that's a 10. Corbin, that's an 8. Maybe a 7. Maybe a 6.
I'd say 10. I love him. I think he's
Corbin's
great.
good. He's getting better at least. He's growing on me. He was for me. He was a 5. He was just wrestling for me. Now he's growing up. He's getting more vicious. He's getting more character, and I think he's just getting more clean with his this end of days and his deep
I
six.
think he's just
moveset.
improved a lot because he's been, to be fair, he's been against a lot of good people to help him improve. And I've always been a fan of him. I was a fan of him when he was just doing those squash matches in his debuts and stuff. So I've always been behind him, and but he has, brought himself up a level, and I can see him easily getting a big push in the future. And I think that's one of the plans they've had with him. So he's like, he's definitely like. Keeping up with everyone, I'd say. So it's, but no, it's a great lineup for the ladder match.
Yeah.
I must
So as far as you're aware, these Money in the Bank ladder matches, often they'll have big guys, and then there'll be some mid card, lower tier. This
is a difficult one to pick, essentially.
Yeah, I can't pick it.
The competition level is there, and the endless possibilities of no matter who wins.
Yeah.
What direction they're going from there, I think we're going to have a good ride with it,
Yeah.
regardless of who comes out on top.
How do you feel about this Money in the Bank ladder match? 'Cause
I'm
happy. Anyone wins. Anyone wins, I'm happy.
I'm happy with anyone winning, but I'm always gonna stick with my guy, and they don't want none.
They don't want
Is
none.
AJ my champion?
I feel like this is like you see on YouTube people do their creative wrestler battle royals with like Superman, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Where they like knock up all the indie guys and all that. And there's some guy out there, once they announce this, is just like, oh my god, I made a video that predicted this like 7 years ago.
Apart from maybe Corbin.
maybe not Corbin, but I don't know.
But yeah, it's one of those sort of dream sort of mashups. Like, oh my god, Kevin Owens from the indie scene, Styles coming more from TNA and then his Japan run. You have Nakamura, obviously fucking huge in Japan. They love him now everywhere where he goes. Ziggler has been very just WWE based for the past
10
decade.
10 years.
Yeah.
11 years.
11 years. Corbin, he's one of the new sort of fresh out of developmental, and then Zayn is another indie darling.
Who?
Oh, wait,
Wait,
no,
what?
one more about his brother. It's his brother, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some kind of relation.
That works.
I think they just worked in the same orphanage or something.
But it's so good to see who wins. Like, even if Corbin wins, I'm happy because it means they can build him to something really good, hopefully. But I'm expecting.
Actually, that'd be a bit good.
I wonder what
That's
the
not a
odds
bad
are.
idea,
Actually,
I'm
The
really
odds
tempted to make
would
my
be-
first ever bet.
Who would you bet on?
I don't know. I just think it would be.
I bet on Styles.
Like realistically
I think
speaking,
Corbin's a good shout.
but like
to be
come on,
honest.
in my head I'm thinking like I might chuck a $5 on Corbin.
See what happens.
Which Corbin? Baron Corbin? Jeremy Corbin?
Both.
Well, that's a completely different topic for a completely different cast.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
My bad.
But
A thing I'd like to add to that is, though, the possibility of Zayn winning the Money in the Bank and having his, obviously, run with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
yeah, that's a 10.
And finally
I think
getting to the point where he
everyone should
actually
have a good
wins
run.
the WWE Championship and has a good run.
It could work for
Yeah.
anyone, essentially, I think.
I think
Maybe
Zayn
not,
needs it more.
He does.
Because
Zayn-
Styles is already main event. Owens main event. Ziggler being main event for
I
World
think-
title. Nakamura, he's already main event. Come on.
That's true.
Zayn needs it more than anyone, I think. Corbin had his sort of Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He's
I
a
still
big
think
guy.
I still think
he
it
can
would
be
help
dominant.
Corbin a lot as well to help. I know.
Yeah,
it
it
could be a
could.
big help for him. I think that's a good opportunity. But no, I can see where you come from with Zayn. Definitely, it would probably help him.
Yeah.
He's the underdog walking into that match.
He's the underdog from the
Wow.
underground. He's always the underdog. It's his character.
Hey, build him. Let him win the briefcase. Have him beat Jinder at SummerSlam. Perfect.
That would be
That's a wonderful idea.
that would be awesome.
You get it.
Happy with that.
Well, you've heard it right here.
It's
If
happening.
it happens, then
Right
you,
here at Conquest.
We called it.
you can thank me.
Okay. So moving on now to topic 2, which is about Asuka. Basically, she's broken Goldberg's records, now at 174 wins. Officially, but unofficially, we're not sure how many wins she's at.
Someone
And
did the
Goldberg
research
wasn't
on that.
really on 170 thing, apparently.
Well, no, he had like
150 something,
Yeah,
160
yeah,
something, and then they
something.
inflated it to make it seem a bit more.
But someone did the research for the Asuka thing. Apparently, it's like 100 and something odd wins, 3 draws and 3 losses.
Yeah.
Obviously, she didn't technically lose any of the matches. She wasn't pinned.
Yeah.
It was multi-mans, and but the one draw was on TV. I think it was against Dana Brooke. So I'm really like, I don't
Right.
know when that was. It might have been like a no contest kind of deal. So
Could be.
I don't. So, but I think it's really interesting that they've done it because it's a nice. It's a good way to really show her dominance. Essentially, like, oh, she's even beaten Goldberg Street, and you guess a good.
Who's gonna beat her?
Exactly. This is the big thing.
Who is gonna beat her?
And
Because the last, like, for some reason I can picture maybe then turning around saying, well, if you want, maybe cash in this opportunity.
okay, imagine this, right? Winner of the Women's Classic goes on to face her and wins. You just skyrocketed the winner of the Classic.
Yeah. And Asuka doesn't really lose much.
I think that's for me
Gotta be
that's
really
great
cool.
storytelling.
That would be cool.
I'm going to call
Other
the
than that-
girl with the shiniest wizard to beat her, I think. Next on North.
You never know. Anything can happen.
You don't know
We still
anyone,
yet to
don't
find
you?
out the names of who is
Is
going
in
into
the
this
Mania
tournament.
Classic. There's
So it could
speculation.
literally be anyone from anyway. But for us, obviously, we'd be a bit biased.
But
Me.
I
Yeah.
think that's a good way for them to go.
Yeah.
But obviously the other side of it that they got is obviously you've had Ember Moon who's been injured and she's had to go, and she only lost because of Asuka pushing the ref into the ropes. So there's a story there for her to have a big comeback, and I think that'd be an interesting way of doing things as well, because obviously she was out with the triple threat.
Yeah, but she is cleared now,
Yeah.
I believe. So
So it's
it was literally just missed that match.
It's a good. That might be an interesting opportunity. So it's. I don't know. I think it's great. I love how far she's come. I've seen a Japanese woman have so much success.
Yeah.
A Japanese participant, because which hasn't happened in years essentially, or ever.
was
in
it?
WWE.
420 plus title reign.
Days.
420 days.
Or is
That-
the longest reign ever for anyone?
Or for a woman's
good-
title?
Ever for anyone?
Years. Like
Yeah.
you're talking like 5 years or something.
Yeah,
Something
and
ridiculous.
the women's title was
But like
like
actively
20,
competing as
no?
well.
Well, yeah.
No,
well,
it
back
was
on
Fabulous
that,
Moolah,
the
24 years.
24 years.
The longest women championship reign was Fabulous Moolah, 24 years.
Yeah, but that's because she never competed.
Yeah, see
But
now.
still 24 years.
Again,
But, although
unless
back-
you're competing at least
Yeah.
on a monthly
Backlund
basis.
did have the WWE title for like 3-4 years or something now, or like a 5-year reign. Although he did, I think I'm sure it's in now, and where he lost it to Antonio Inoki in Japan, but something happened and they relinquished it from Inoki, and now they don't regard it as a win.
Right.
Which is so like Jinder Mahal is regarded as the 50th person to win the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
But technically, if you count Inoki's win, he's 51, because they don't count it in history, even though he did win the title.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's,
Why don't they count it?
because I can't remember what happened. I think saying like he refused to travel, or he refused to like lose it or something like that. It's like a Lesnar situation.
Yeah.
Bret Hart.
That sucks.
But
But
yeah, so it's
in terms of modern era, you don't really get that far. Like,
well, yeah, it was CM Punk, you know,
got
had
to
the,
400 and I want to say 64 maybe, around that ballpark.
yeah, he had the longest
New
stint
Day,
in WWE, didn't he?
They got
And,
to a year, just a little over a year. And that's all I can think of in recent memory. Usually it's a couple months and then you give it to the next one, or in terms of the recent title, the WWE
yeah, essentially,
title
like,
is 1 month and you're done.
Well, yeah, at the moment, no, so we'll see how far they go with that. So,
Asuka,
but yeah, Asuka's, you know,
she'll go to SummerSlam, I imagine.
I reckon
So that's another few months already added on.
the takeover at SummerSlam, essentially, before that. That might be the big
SummerSlam,
trigger puller.
I can't remember. Brooklyn, maybe?
Yeah, I think it is
again?
Brooklyn again. It's Brooklyn again.
3.
So I don't know if they're going to plan for that.
We'll see what happens there. Asuka is just hitting out the water. I think they might do a Paige situation. They bring her up and she just sort of relinquishes the title undefeated, and she goes on, wins whatever Raw SmackDown title.
My women's classic.
I like the women's classic idea better.
It's such a great. I've always said it. It's always like the way to make stars is for them to beat the big bang. This is why I always was with how I was with Taker when everyone was like, True should beat the streak, and I was like, someone who can be elevated by it. It's always the best. I've always seen it as a great option, especially. I mean, sometimes you can. Some people might not seem like it can be a bit too unbelievable. But I feel like if you've got a good competitor in there that can, like, you never know. One of the Japanese women might end up winning the classic. There's a good chance of that. Yeah. And then you've got like that dynamic in there, and then you can bring that and. So yeah, I think that's for me. I think because, you know, what are they gonna give someone who wins the classic? Because they can't give them a new title because you've got the cruiser. You know, like they did with the cruiserweights. Depends if they do a women's show. Maybe down the line. I don't know if that's a necessary thing, really. Is it all really necessary? Yeah, that's true.
I think it's going to be a bit like the Dusty Classic.
Yeah. Was it the Mae Young Classic, Dusty Classic? It could be give them a trophy and
then
send
like,
them on their way.
But I feel like giving them like maybe they could give them a trophy and be like, hey, and then put them on NXT for that kind of thing. But I know, arguably, you could say main roster, but look at what you think about what happened with the Cruiserweight Classic. You know, like the people that watch it, not necessarily people in the audience on the main roster. So that's why that kind of slumped down a bit. So at least if you give them that NXT exposure, then
the one thing that I actually want to pan off on now is recently I seen a photo that Pete posted, and it was a side-by-side photo of him with a photo of Neville when he was like 12 years old, and to like a recent day photo of both of them now with both titles, with the caption saying, I think it's time that we actually had a match. So because they're obviously both British, you never know that Neville might actually compete for the UK Championship at some point. Yeah. Could easily happen. He's sort of sick. Maybe they could do that. Showed up at the shows in was it Blackpool, where they done the first set of shows. Showed up and he was thing about it. He said, I should be in this. He would be the UK champion. That would be an awesome match. I would like to see that. But that picture, just seeing them side by side with the titles, it's like, you think where they were 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Like what they were doing, it's drastic change. Like crazy. I mean, even like a few years back. Yeah. Think of that. It's it's nice, especially when you see people think, because obviously I saw Dunn and Bate back in Attack when it was in their first couple of years, and you see potential in them then. 2011. First time I saw Bate, I couldn't get over how. When someone mentioned his age, it's like, is that young? Yeah, no, the first time I met him, he was like 16, and the only thing that he was in just as much like good shape back then as he is now. The only thing that's different is that he's got a beard and a tattoo. Like he is just looked that way in my head. Yeah, resembles
a lot of
is awesome.
similarities between him and Arthur Clouser Saxon as well.
It's all good
Ah,
to
yes.
see. Really.
Okay,
It's lovely to see.
so moving on to a little segment now that we like to call the Heart Attic, and
Yeah.
this is where Eric takes you from the sort of WWE centralized universe and takes us to Japan.
Out to
a little.
areas, mainly Japan.
Mainly Japan, but
Whoa,
it could be other
Japan.
areas.
But
Yeah, so we'll flash back and we'll be in Japan in a moment. Eric, take us away.
yes, so things in Japan. What's been going on? Well, that's a good question. Mainly what's been happening is we're currently in the midst of the best of the Super Juniors tournament in New Japan, featuring a big star light, especially in A Block, and you've got people like Will Ospreay and Marty Scurll and Dragon Lee, Hiromu Takahashi, Jushin Liger, all sorts of different people in there. And so I think I haven't seen all the days. I've seen up to day 6, although the main one, apparently the main broadcast TV ones, there's only been 3 days. The rest of them have been streamed on New Japan World on hard cam in smaller venues, which don't necessarily bring up the best. They don't, usually the matches are good, but you don't usually get the best matches on them kind of shows.
Yeah.
But so the best matches from me so far, and I think for quite a few people, is from day 1 we've got Dragon Lee versus Hiromu Takahashi, which is a no-brainer because whenever they're in the ring, they pretty much steal the show. So that's a guaranteed one. Also, I'd say Ospreay and Marty Scurll from that day was also very good. Then on day 2, there's Hiromu Takahashi versus Jushin Liger. Now, Jushin Liger announced that this is his last Best of the Super Juniors tournament.
Right.
A lot of people thought this meant he was going to get a miracle run. That's not happening. He's a humble person. He's a very humble guy, and he's basically been losing all his matches to everyone.
Fair.
But putting in a cracking effort. And this Hiromu Takahashi match stands out because Hiromu Takahashi is the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, and he's also probably the best junior heavyweight in the world right now. If you've ever seen him, the energy he brings to a match and the actual and he's pretty crazy. He does a senton, just a senton off the top rope as a dive kind of move.
Oh, nice.
So, just a normal senton, a back senton, and it's like so him versus Liger. Liger tries to keep up with him, and it's just really good to see the effort because Liger's a 53-year-old veteran.
Oh yeah.
Right? He took a powerbomb on the apron like a boss.
Wow.
And in the opening, he just first off the bat, he just gives Hiromu a shot. He takes him outside, gives him a brainbuster on the floor, and really, they have a bit of downtime because there's only so far you keep up. But then they have a really fun finishing stretch. He does obviously lose, but that was a really great one. And then also from that day is Ospreay Ricochet, who
I saw the opening.
they obviously had
Yeah.
their match last year from Best of Super Juniors that had a big controversy around it.
Yeah.
I liked the match last year. I didn't love it as much as some people, but as I didn't hate it like a lot of people did. This one I thought they did was better. I thought they improved on it.
Yeah.
They went for almost 30 minutes, 27 minutes I think they went for. Crazy, hardly any downtime for anything. Lots of big sequences, just
those two together, it's just this. People love it or hate it, and I think, but it's Marmite at the end of the day when they're in the ring together. That's just their thing. That's their style. You are right. There's no choice about it really, and I think they're ridiculous.
It's insane.
It's ridiculously
and I do
athletic.
I do think it is a bit. It was a little excessive.
Yeah, that's
and
my issue.
That's
with
the
it.
only thing I got that stopped me from really liking a lot. I still think it's a great match, but it's
You got bored.
there was bits. No, I wasn't
I
necessarily
see-
bored. It's you
I
get that
see it.
disconnect from it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
the
yeah.
drama's not necessarily there. You're just seeing
like
small
you
it's,
just
things.
see a flash and
it's a
stuff.
modern day Yebu.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you good guy on top, cheer for him, villain go up, good guy, blue eyed go up, villain go up, and then it would go into something else. This is just their athletic modern day equivalent of a Yebu. They're just gonna be like, I can outflash you. I can
That
outdo
is-
you.
that is pretty
and it's
much
just
it.
bang, bang, bang.
My
Alright, we're level peg, right? Smack.
yeah.
Moving on.
My issue with the the match from last year. Like I watched that beginning. It's like, yeah, it's impressive, but I'm just like, it's too contrived. Like you're supposed to suspend belief, but people like you can watch when they movement. They're waiting for the other person to do their thing. They're getting in position. It's like this. People can tell this is all planned out by here. You're supposed to suspend belief, not do this contrived dance routine around each other.
But at the same time, if the crowd are into it,
crowd are into it. Yeah, fair enough.
I think
it's everyone's opinions at the end of the day.
Some of the Japanese crowds started match of the year last year with that, which was or something along those lines, which Japanese crowds don't do generally. But they really do love, they love Ospreay.
The athletic prowess.
And they, like I said, they main event day 2. They went almost 30 minutes. They did some incredible stuff, and it is one of the best matches of the tournament. I think the only other notable match is Bushi Kushida, which is from day 6, and that was another of the shows broadcast on TV, and they main evented, and just like a generally great back and forth match. And Kushida debuted his new finisher, which is the small package brainbuster, which is like what Seth Rollins used to do.
Yeah.
Called God's Luck. I think he calls it Back to the Future. I think he's called it because he got this time. If anyone who's Kushida got a time splitter gimmick, so he wears like the Martin McFly vest and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so that's his
nice.
Thing. So he did that in there. It was really good. So yeah, that's what I found has been the best so far. Like some of the smaller days have had some good stuff, but nothing like that's been truly noteworthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even though like A Block has so many dream matches, but you can't expect every match that is a dream match to deliver. When they're wrestling like every day for like 10 days or whatever in a row. So it's
who's your pick on the actual tournament?
That is a tough. I think it was either Kushida or Dragon Lee potentially, because obviously I would have been happy for like it to have a miracle run. And I know a lot of people complain about why did he announce if his last if he didn't have it, but I think Liger losing is showing exactly why it's his last. Like he can't keep up anymore with these young guys. Yeah, so that's what's been going on at the moment with the main thing that's going on in Japan. I know last night, or was it today that I think, or next week, DDT are doing Tokyo. They announced they'll run the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
But what they meant was they're having a match in an empty Tokyo Dome, like because they do like street wrestling matches.
Yeah.
The other month they did a match on a train. They did a train wrestling match, and like all the wrestlers got on during every stop, and then and it goes on until the end of the journey. And you even have like passengers just sat there just watching.
DDT. There's just no one else like them.
And they got their own stream service now, DDT Universe, which is
nice.
I think it's quite cheap actually. I can't remember which.
Wrestling's great right now.
It sounds
so
crazy.
much to get to thing. Although I know a Flow Slam recently up their subscription fee to like $30
because of the influx of people.
Well, no, apparently it's because they wanted to destroy all these single services. So what you're paying for is not just Flow Slam, it's Flow Sports. But $30 a month for
everything.
But all they've got is WWN Live and a few other promotions. There's not. That's a whole other debate essentially.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. But no, there's a lot available these days, and like a lot of the Japanese promotions are getting more of their own things. I know Stardom got their own. Stardom actually do English subtitles for their promos and stuff as well, which is really cool. And New Japan, DDT, they got their own stuff. I know a couple others do as well. So
yeah,
it's all
nice.
It's a good time.
I need to watch more of it. I'm gonna jump in here and there and just watch a match whenever possible.
I think watch some of the best of Super Junior stuff because it's good action packed stuff, and I definitely recommend checking out Hiromu and Dragon Lee just to see how they work because they're insane. They're pacing and they'll just do anything to each other. Like they'll just murder each other if they want. Like it's crazy. They've had a feud going for like 5 years, I think. Not 5 years, 3 years. Like they had because Hiromu originally was in Mexico as Kamai Taichi, and they had a feud, and he was originally in a mask. He lost the
Yeah.
mask versus mask match with Dragon Lee, and then they've just had this ongoing feud. And every match they have is like either 5 stars or close enough to it. It's just like
Yeah.
insane. And Dragon Lee's only 22 years old, so he's another young guy who's just like insane for his age.
Young veteran, like it's crazy.
Essentially, yeah. But
Nice.
so yeah, that's what's been going on in the old Hart attic.
Okay, and we're gonna fly back now quickly to the UK.
Yeah.
What happened?
Jet
Doze
lag.
off there.
Jet lag.
I think I just went to Japan in my dreams. Okay, so now it's topic 3, and this is about our Extreme Rules predictions. So Extreme Rules is happening next Sunday as of now, but you'll see this Thursday, so it'll happen in a few days' time for you, of course. And there's 5 matches currently to predict, 5 championship matches, because they seem to be going along with the trend of announcing the championship matches first, usually, before announcing some of the others.
The feud matches you
is,
usually get like last week kind of
yeah.
announcements at the moment, which is
it's
of
weird,
slightly
but
annoying.
cool. I'm happy to know what way the championship scenes are going.
yeah.
So
No, it is good they get them done earlier on rather
Yeah.
than last minute. I'd rather than
it's hyped.
get the
that.
title matches announced earlier on than later, because you get you get the hype for it.
The hype train. The Cruiserweight Championship will be defended in a submission match. Neville will bring...
I just want to throw it. I actually don't know any matches that are happening. This is the first time I'm hearing of them.
Yep, so
'Cause
you'll
I've
be able
been
to...
pretty much
predict
living
on the
under a
spot.
rock for the last 2 weeks.
Yep. There'll be Neville bringing his Rings of Saturn against Austin Aries.
He debuted a new submission on 205 Live.
Right.
I can't remember how it went, but it involved like a lot of body limb twisting.
Right. It's
Um,
because Neville has been sort of...
But obviously he's got his last chancery. Anyway,
Last
so
Chancery,
it's
yeah,
like,
that's the one that he's been sort of cementing. He done it at WrestleMania to Neville. Neville poked him in the eye, gouged
that
his
was
eye to get out of
great
it.
ending, fair play.
Put Neville in it again at Payback, but Neville grabbed the referee, pulled him in, got the DQ. So the whole thing is, the Last Chancery should finish Neville. Neville got the Rings of Saturn, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, it's
Like,
great. It
I
is a really
love-
good submission.
I love the dynamic. I love submission matches anyway, but this whole sort of dynamic, they both have submission finishers, whereas sometimes it's like, was it before Big Show was going into a submission match, they were like, oh, Big Show, you should just do this colossal clutch thing.
Camel clutch, yeah.
And it was like, yeah, but he only done it now. What? I want 2 with 2 finishers, like Angle, Benoit.
Yeah.
Angle had the ankle lock, Benoit with the crossface, and Jericho with the Balls of Jericho, which everyone just reverses now anyway and doesn't have. But
Well, that's not true, because Owens
Owens
tapped the
did,
payback.
and I was like, wait a minute, no one's tapped out of that move for years, come on. But, so yeah, Neville, Aries submission match, Cruiserweight title. I think Aries is finally picking it up.
I think it's going to be a long time coming, to be honest.
Yeah?
I
Yeah.
think so. They've had the feud going long enough that it makes sense for Neville to get that win finally. And
Well,
not,
the
I
clean
mean
win,
Aries
sort
to
of.
get that win finally.
Not Aries, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's going to
Yeah,
be
he's
been a
been,
long
chasing,
time
he's,
coming.
been he's been chasing it for a while now.
Yeah.
if they're keeping it on so long, I would have thought the payoff is Aries winning.
So
otherwise it's
unanimously,
just-
I think.
Aries, all 4?
Aries,
Ding,
yeah.
ding, ding.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool beans.
Unanimous pick there. So then we have the Raw Tag Team Championships, going to be contested inside a 15-foot high steel cage when the Hardy Boys, which I can't believe I'm saying, the Hardy Boys back in WWE after their triumphant return at Mania, will look to defend the titles against Sheamus and Cesaro. Do.
Michael Jones.
He's not here.
Huh?
He's not
Look,
here.
Cesaro, isn't he?
Ha! Maybe, just maybe, he would dispute that. But I don't know who I want to go with. Like, I love Sheamus and Cesaro,
Hardys.
but
Hardys.
the
I feel
Hardys,
like-
I think,
I think the Hardys are going to keep it until the revival come back.
let's pretend. Yeah, I can
And
see
then
that
they'll
happening.
have the revival take it off them. I feel like if they were, sorry, if revival weren't injured, they might be in this current spot.
Yeah,
But no, I think the Hardys is going to keep it for now. Still, I still think they got a bit of time in them with that.
yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna go with the Hardys.
Hardy's.
Another unanimous
I'm
pick.
sure Hardy will jump off for some reason. Jeff will, but
Yeah,
I kind of hope he doesn't because he's like.
Jeff will jump and
yeah.
everyone will be like, do a flip.
Everyone will be like, please don't die, Jeff. You're getting a bit on now.
But yeah. The thing is as well with all these predictions, the points are going to be tallied up by the end of the year, and the person who has the most points by just after WrestleMania will get something. We haven't decided what yet, but they'll get something. So it's a prediction sort of league, not to be confused with any other league, because we don't have a ball.
Hopefully, with when Jeff climbs up on top of if he climbs up on top of the cage,
Which he will.
which he will,
Because
you'll probably think back to the time where he spawned on off the cage to the table, and then him and Matt ended up having that feud. It's like, do you really want to feud with your brother again? No, we don't.
So remember what happened last time I did this. So we have the Raw Women's Championship being contested in the most extreme match there is.
Candlestick on a pole.
Yeah, there'll be a candlestick on a pole.
Candlestick on a pole. I mean, hey, they've been building it really well. Like Bliss looks like is very vicious with that stick. So fair play.
She is 5 feet of fury, all right.
Oh,
She
for sure.
hits.
But it's hard to get excited about a candlestick on a pole.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense if they made it like a baseball bat on a pole, because obviously, like, she's kind of like Harley Quinn.
I knew where you
isn't
were
she?
going with that.
She's kind of Harley Quinn, so it made
she
sense.
does
She
the pose
cosplayed once with it.
No, she told us the pose with the title.
She does the
though.
belt, but she doesn't like dress
Well, no, she
like
doesn't
it anymore.
dress
She
as
just does that belt pose, which is actually awesome.
No, it is a really
it's
great
a
pose.
unique pose that is great. But the thing is, with the Singapore came, it was the promo leading up to it where Bailey was like, "Oh, I really want my title back. Blah blah blah. I want to go extreme. I'm ready to go extreme." And then Kurt Angle was like, "You want to go extreme? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have you versus Alexa Bliss in a kendo stick on a pole match." And my face was like, "You are." That's not extreme. Like, it's one weapon and it's on a pole, and it's like.
I mean, depending on how their rules go, there's potential they could add more. They could, if it's no DQ. I don't know how these.
No, I'm pretty
on a pole matches
sure
work. Is it just
on a
weapon
pole, whoever grabs it can legally use it.
Okay.
That's
But like I said,
usually the
they've
thing.
actually been hyping it quite well with Bliss just being vicious with it.
Yeah,
so,
the
I
hype
might
is good.
change it.
Hype is there. Bliss.
Oh yeah, Bliss
I
is
love
winning.
Bliss.
Bliss is winning.
Bliss at the moment is, apart from Charlotte, Bliss is one of my favourites at the moment. Go in, just because her rise, like she first started, was a little
Miss Bliss.
green. Now she's really coming into her stride. Her promos are one of the best I've seen at the moment. She's really hitting them.
I think she is the best on promo of all the women.
Yeah.
Like some of them are good, but like she really hits it all the time. Like,
Yeah, she's a
like
complete
something.
bitch.
Yeah, she
So that is great.
Like I mean, I wasn't big on the whole like high school banter with Bailey and Sasha, but the way she comes across and the way she just presents herself is like, top level. You can't argue with that.
So, Bliss.
I say Bliss.
All the same again.
Give her a
We're
big
all
one.
going to win this invisible prize.
Well,
Yeah, if we're all win or we all
we
lose.
only differed on 2 or 3 matches from the Takeover and Backlash predictions we done last time.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
Takeover yet.
He
He
said
still
all-
made my predictions.
He
I
said
said
I
all-
want bonus points.
no.
Oh.
You know who wins.
I don't.
He chose Orton, I chose Mahal, and I think there may have been one other difference. But I can't remember. I'll have to go back, and then next time round I'll tally them up and say, right, so this is the league currently, and maybe post it on the
Yeah, I can't,
table or
I
something.
can't remember what I differed on.
But we have the Intercontinental Championship.
Sorry, I got phone calls. How do I just can I just go past or you guys?
Yeah, just leave.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you can hang up and never come back. Okay, so the Intercontinental Championship match now. We have Dean Ambrose versus The Miz in a Ambrose cannot get DQ'd match, because if he does, he'll lose the title. So it's not extreme by any means, but this could signal the end of Ambrose's reign. If Miz goads him into it, Ambrose might get himself disqualified like he did a couple of weeks ago. The end into one of the matches, Maurice with a distraction, Miz came up behind Ambrose, went for the low blow. Ambrose grabbed his arm, sort of stepped over it, looked at him and was like, "You mother..." Kicked him in the groin. Ref saw that and caused a DQ. So they're doing this whole sort of, Ambrose, you cannot get yourself disqualified, otherwise you will lose the belt. And I'm guessing Miz is going over. I predict Miz going over. I want Miz to go over because I love him. But
Yeah.
it's really interesting dynamic whenever this type of deal
I feel
happens.
like so far, based on the matches that you've said, like the show's called Extreme Rules, but they're really playing to those two words of the title. There's extreme matches, and then there's matches with rules.
Yeah, yeah. So you can split.
Well, I think
the-
it makes sense that Miz would ask for that stipulation rather than Extreme Rules.
Yeah,
like
it's his
he's doing with it.
character.
course he would.
He doesn't.
And it's like, I think he can work out nicely because sometimes people can be very like when he's trying to goad people into DQs.
Yeah.
It's very. Some people do some good stuff with that. So
Well, Christian and Orton, when Christian spat in Orton's face to force Orton to low blow him and get himself
that reminded
DQ'd.
me of a spot I've seen the other yesterday or the day before on a Japanese show, and this one team do like heel stuff, but the ending was this guy's on the apron distracting a wrestler and the ref, and the ref is stood behind the guy.
Yeah.
The opponent comes behind, grabs the wrestler's leg, and lifts it up so it low blows the ref, and the ref disqualifies him because he thinks he
Nice.
low blowed him. I think it's
That's amazing.
actually
That's great.
This
I love when they bring the ref into it and just do some funny stuff like that. I'm going with Miz.
smart. Ooh,
Miz.
when did Ambrose win the title? It was
Before WrestleMania, it was maybe Chamber time, because Miz had it. Then shake-up happened.
I can't remember.
It was about then. It was just it was
Oh, wait,
after the Rumble.
He
Was it?
won it off Miz.
Was it?
Didn't he?
It
Didn't he
might
beat
have
it off
been.
Miz before the beginning of the year?
Yes.
Might have been.
We
yeah.
don't know.
Okay,
Let's
I'm
just say
going
It
for
could
Miz.
have been.
I'm going
Oh,
for
well,
Miz.
it doesn't matter.
I'll say Miz. Miz.
Miz getting it back to become I think 7-time IC champion.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
saying.
Miz will get that one.
Miz.
Miz.
What are they actually after? If Miz does win, what are they going to do with Ambrose after this? Because obviously, I get he's the lunatic fringe, but obviously he needs something else to do now.
It could be a little match with some of his former Shield buddies down the line, maybe being jumped up to the main event scene.
Or Ambrose. Yeah,
Or-
I don't know what they're going to plan with him.
Yeah.
They'll probably keep
Well,
this feud going
it
for
might-
another
yeah.
couple months. I guess.
I say till SummerSlam, maybe. No,
Mhm.
Great Balls of Fire, and then they
Great
move
Balls of
him on
Fire.
for SummerSlam.
Have him sign
actually.
have something else
But,
for SummerSlam.
Okay,
The greatest party of the summer.
yeah. We have the Fatal 5-Way now. Extreme Rules match. So anything can happen. You have Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Bray Wyatt. This has big ass names. And I love it, and I cannot lie. I really can't. Who is gonna win? I don't know.
Joe
Right.
Bala.
The way it's come down is, and the way they've kind of hyped things is my eyes are pointing towards Wyatt or Balor. Because
Right.
Wyatt seems like someone they can even though I don't want to see him in a throw-in again in like a throwaway kind of way, a throwaway challenger, but there's a good
Yeah.
chance he could be someone that Lesnar could just versus Great Balls of Fire just beat. But then they did the Heyman segment with Balor,
Yeah.
If they're gonna put attention on it, then
and either they do it now or they wait till SummerSlam. I don't know if they do it as Balls of Fire and SummerSlam. I feel like
I think it's a
they
case
just
of
leave it purely at SummerSlam.
Great Balls of Fire is a ridiculous name, so we need to have a really good match to make sure that people never forget it. Not that we could ever forget the name of that show.
Yeah.
Is Great Balls of Fire going to be in Japan like they did with Beast from the East?
No, it's Great Balls of Fire. It's an actual pay-per-view.
It's just an actual pay-per-view. Yeah.
No, but where's it going to be located?
Somewhere in
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because Texas.
Great Balls of Fire.
Explain
Balls
the
of Fire.
explain the segment between Balor and Heyman.
No, Balor came out and said some things, and then Heyman came out and said some things to him about him
He complimented
seeming
him.
as the best guy, as the good, or as the one.
He
that
pretty
could
much just says
face
that like
Lesnar.
he pretty much just says the idea of Balor and the Beast in a match would be money.
Yeah.
Which would be, I want to see Joe.
Oh my god.
I say Joe down the
I
line.
got so bored of Lesnar and Goldberg. I want to see Lesnar in a match,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, Joe and Lesnar would be sick.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's been wanting that, haven't they? For a while.
It's a heavily it's a dreamish match, but I'm going with Balor simply because I love David vs Goliath stories anyway, and I think it would really work well with the Beast versus the Demon.
Yeah.
As long as
Nice.
he
That
doesn't
would be
bloody
awesome.
injure him,
Well, yeah,
he's gonna come back.
let's see what
That,
happens.
or would it be a way of Balor introducing some sort of club?
Or
Numbers one.
Heyman screws over Lesnar.
No.
Why not?
No.
You were wacky, Squire.
I know.
So I'm going Balor.
I'm gonna go Balor.
This is down to like if I saw because we
If
haven't
you
seen
hadn't seen the
last.
promo.
No, it's also down to how the last Raw goes down
Yeah,
and the way they structure that. So it's really like because like I said, they had Wyatt go over in at the tail end of Raw
last week,
and then they had the whole Balor thing this week. So it's like,
and Joe was the highlight of.
yeah, that is
the end
true.
of the show this week.
That is true. That they've been doing a good job of this.
All right, he'll be the guy next week. Tick tock. Joe.
While he's thinking, Joe.
Joe. So Joe
Yeah,
Balor.
I'll go Balor.
Balor.
I'll go.
Oh, I'm playing the wild
Balor,
card.
Balor, 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 Balor,
I'm gonna
Balor,
lose a
Balor.
point.
Swing.
I was gonna go Joe, but I didn't want to risk it.
It's too risky for
I'm
him.
not going to get this fictional prize. I'm going to lose a point though.
Yeah, this prize will be decided. We were thinking maybe a toy belt or something. So the winner becomes champion.
No, kidding.
Perhaps, but we'll see what happens. It's all different ideas, but yes, thank you for joining us. If you like what you see, don't forget to give us the old like button down below. It'll be by Josh's crotch area, so it'll be a thumbs up. If you just want to click that'll greatly be appreciated. You can also subscribe, and if you do, don't forget to click on the little bell next to the subscribe button, and you'll get notifications every time we upload a video. If you're into your gaming, we have a gaming podcast called Game Chat that goes live every week. If you're into just generally everything, TV, film, sports, politics, rubber ducks, we have Conquest Topical. That may be for you, and that goes live every week in 4 separate parts, Monday to Thursday. You can join the Conquest in a number of different ways. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/join the Conquest. You will get our everlasting love and just undying gratitude for that, because you'll help this keep happening, you'll help more keep happening, you'll keep the lights on, you will keep the lights on. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/conquestcg, and you can like us on Twitter at run_conquest. All the other channels and pages will be down below. You can check them out. They'll probably be down here somewhere. I can't reach.
Down in the doobly-doo.
Down in the doobly-doo. Yeah, I like that. Let's go on a shirt.
Is that like another room in the attic? Or?
Doobly-doo.
You've got a
Section.
hot attic.
Some
Down in the
mysterious voice.
doobly-doo.
Doobly-doo. So I've been Rhys Baldwin. He's been Eric Hart. This has been Nathan Watkins. That guy over there to my left
He's late.
You're right.
He's late in.
is Joshua Powell. and for joining us. You have been absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. See you next time for No Flips, Just Mics. Don't forget, it's time to ring the bell.